So Ben Hammond has asked me to make a short video on some of the analog equipment that I've been using live recently. This is a setup that I took out on the Crystal Fighters with me last year, with some of the festivals that we did as well. It's a Midas XL3 and 2 racks of gear to go with it. One of the racks has got a couple of the items missing out of it because they're not here at the moment. I did have a Bricasti Reverb, a Summit and 2 distressors in there. This is the 2 racks. On the left hand side I've got some BSS 4-way comps, BSS 901 multi-band compressor. There's 8 DBX 160As, another stereo BSS compressor, and then some DBX 266XLs, and some quad gates and stereo drama gate. On the right hand side where the BSS graphic is at the moment, I would normally put the Bricasti and 2 distressors and the Summit compressor, but it's just being stored in there for the moment. Then I've got a Lexicon PCM 80 reverb, an SBX 990 and a TC Electronic D2. This is for my delay. And then there's obviously the Clark Technic graphic where I use over the left and right. Not sure how many of you are familiar with the XL3, but we have 20 channels over here. Then there's 4 stereo channels. This is all the master section with the VCAs, and then there's another 16 channels on the right hand side. And just a little overview of the desk. We start off with the gain pot at the top here. The signal comes in the top through the EQ. They've got an insert point there. Then you have all of these mix sends, which I use for my reverbs and delays and effects. Then a muting section, pan, and then your fader. Pretty standard layout from an old analog desk, but I don't know whether the new digital desks, people who have only learnt on those, understand that signal path in the same way, whether they can just picture it as just as a straight line. One of the things that's most unusual about the XL3 is that it has Bantam connectors for the inserts. So this is where all the racks are joined into the desk itself. They're all on these little Bantam jacks, which are very difficult to get in and out. But it's run on there, so what you do, you just have to patch everything manually in the back of the desk like this. All the inserts are on these multi-pin connectors, so rather than have to plug in hundreds of cables, you just do a single cable there and one there, and then that covers all of the inserts. And these live in the dog box at the back of the desk. These are then very neatly run into the back of the racks. As you see, there's like the orange and purple one on the back of here, and there's one on the other rack as well, and that just keeps all the cables nice and tidy. I'm literally plugging in 2 power cables, 2 looms, and then you're set up. And here's just one more piece of equipment that I wanted to show you that I'm probably going to be using live next year. This is the Midas H3K. It's an unusual one. It's a 24-channel version. I've also got a 16-channel sidecar that goes with it to make it up to 40 channels. As you can see, it's got a much smaller footprint than the normal H3Ks, but still sounds as good. And I'll hopefully be swapping this out. So that's all my equipment that I've been using live and the setup that Ben's asked me to describe. So thanks for listening. Keep safe.